Yo, 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 good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Dontrell, Detroit, and I am back in the building. My bad. My bad. My bad. That was even a bit loud for me, and I'm an applause type of dude. You dig? But anyway, this is Sunday, October, my bad. October 20th. It's another good day to be in the building. And we do have a lovely guest coming in, but she is not here yet. Should she make it, all well and good. If not, it's going to be me and you. And you know how we do. But again, this is Dontrell Detroit from the relationship game. And we're talking about some things that you might want to know, because I know for sure I want to know, especially if you're a sad man. The women know the answer, and that's really who we're looking for in this day and age, in this episode, but I'm not going to give it to you just yet. But it's definitely something that women want, but something that men want to know, and exactly what that looks like. So, again, if you want to call in and be live with us, it is 323-900-0478. Again, it is 323-900-04. Can you guess the last two? Maybe. 78. All right, and this is the relationship game, and my co-host, Charles, I believe he's going to pop up on me today, but I know he has something to do. And should he do, we're going to give him the issue how he be giving me. But nonetheless, I do want to take a moment of silence for the Washington Redskins and their organization, because they are horrible. And in this relationship game, you have to understand your man, your mate, your woman, whatever they into, their sports, whatever it is, you have to take an interest to it. And
oh my word, this time smells so
oh
good.
my word, you're right. And what I appreciate and what I love the most are my 49ers, and we killed them in a very ugly way today. It wasn't pretty. You know what I'm saying? We only scored 9, although the scoreboard never really tells you, and it's never really indicative of how good or bad the game really is. But we just put them out of their misery, and that's what you're supposed to do. But we are 6-0. We are definitely 6-0, and that's all that matters in this world. There's like God, and then there's the Niners. You know what I'm saying? There's been 6-0. You know what I'm saying? So if shortly after God, and then maybe somewhere right above Eaton and right under Air, there's the 49ers, and the fact that we are 6-0. So again, shout out to the 49ers for being 6-0. I know. And in case you streaming in live, I am also wearing my Niner jersey. For those of you that can't see it, it's very important that you understand that Garoppolo is the man, and our defense is even better. But nah, I'm just out here talking shit. And because my fantasy team sucks equally, and so where one is winning, another is losing. Again, 323-900-0478. We're talking about the freaks tonight. That's in a little teaser. We're talking about freaks. Are we talking about the freaky men or the freaky women? Which would you prefer? Which are you into? What is it that you know? And I'm just throwing out questions here. The main question, what does it? We'll talk about that later. So let me know what your situation is. Call in. Let me know who you are, because I want to talk back to people tonight. I really do. TheGoodNewsRadioStation.com is where you can talk to me if you can't call in. Again, TheGoodNewsRadioStation.com. If you're listening, please get on the board so I can get back to you, so I can read your questions, and I'll know what it is. Because if you don't, I can't talk back, and I can't read your questions, because we only going to be streaming for so long on Facebook. Do you understand? So, what we are talking about ultimately is, do women like freaky men? Do women like freaky men, and or do they just like men that bring the freak out of them? Again, let me ask that question again. Do women like freaky men, or do they just like men that bring the freak out of them. There's definitely a difference. And if you didn't understand, the next question following that is, if you do like freaky men, what does that really look like? And I know it sounds simple. I know it really sounds simple. But is it? If they do, from what I understand, I need to know what it looks like. Because the freakier the man, from my understanding, the more questionable the guy. And so, with that being said, that's why I really just needed to know, is there a difference between a freaky guy and a guy that brings a freak out of you? Or are they separate entities? Which I believe they are. And in that case and scenario, what does that look like? Is there a spectrum? Is there a maximum? Is there a limit to how freaky you want your male counterpart to be? Now, I guess this question is weird since we're talking to an audience that's all encompassing, because I assume that if you're a gay person, guy, if you're a gay man, then you can only not be freaky enough, I suppose. But in any other situation, heterosexual situation, especially women. But again, this question is for everyone. Can you be too freaky as a guy? If you're a girl, that's what I want to know. I know for me, personally, I want a freaky woman. Now, whether everybody else knows, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cool, it's okay for her to not look it. It's important for her to have, a good head on her shoulders, and, to have some common sense, and to be goal-driven and classy and all of those good things, right? And that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to not underestimate, but undervalue or devalue those things that come along with the freaky woman. But we do understand that these things are kind of like the body, right? This is how I view. We know in the sports world, we're talking about whether or not a guy who broke his kneecap because he had an ankle injury. But we know that everything is connected. You hurt your ankle on your right foot, you ultimately end up hurting something on your left leg because you favored it. You were compensating for what happened on the right. So, in relationships, we're all the same like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you're weak, I'm strong, or, where you're overly good at and you're weak in another, that compensates for said situation. So I get that. So if you're usually not that freaky, you got to be like a really good guy. You know what I'm saying? A really good girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to do my homework really well. You know what I'm saying? If you're not that freaky, you got to, love to wash dishes, or, you know what I'm saying? It's just some overcompensating some weird way that makes the whole situation work. And in this case and scenario, we're assuming that everything else is good enough or taken care of to where I like you, to where I need you freaky, or everything else is not up to par and you must be, kinky type, nasty freaky. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you want to call in, 323-900-0478. You can hit me on Facebook for a little bit at Dontrell Hunter. If you got any questions or want to chat back, or we live, you can hit me on Instagram at Bobblehead25 if you want to get your issue in as well. Can you be too freaky? Can you? And I'm asking that, because I was reading a poll, and it was talking about, excuse me, I wasn't reading a poll. I had been listening to some women, and then I Googled some things about, freaky men and what that was supposed to entail. But everything I got were like list of like things that like turn her on, and it was like really external things like walking outside, with his hand down the middle of her back and kissing her on her forehead and being passionate about, whatever he was involved in and speaking intently and things of that nature, but it was more characteristic things externally that turned him on. And it was hard to really find, it was hard to really find things about freaky men. Now, there were tons of lists about men of what not to do, in the bedroom that she doesn't like. But when I started wondering, like, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because if you, like, Google, like, BDSM, the first thing you're going to see is, like, a woman. I'm almost sure of it. You know what I'm saying? A woman in chains or something like that. And the very nature of sex, I'm starting to feel like, is really about women. You know what I'm saying? And they say that this is a man's world. But in the sex game, I beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? I'm not so sure that when it comes to sex, it's even, there's many orifices on the body, right? We got your mouth, you got your ears, you got your nose, you got your butt, you know what I'm saying? And of all these things, they never really come into play for men, It's not a real situation to where, I mean, it's men like many different things, right? So all the things that I'm just named, men could love, whatever the case may be, for you to do something to and stick something in, whatever the case may be. But it's not usually widely advertised in that situation. However, most women do. You talk to a girl, and on any given girl, she's like, I like my knee licked, I like my ass licked, I want my tongue in my ear, you know what I'm saying, spit in my mouth, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of it's a the situation looks different. And I'm reading Gilbert Hernandez, who texted in and said, yes, I just had a certain experience the other night, and she was deaf a freak. I could tell from her vibe where to go, and that's what's up, right? So good looking for that, Gilbert. But my question is, we know, Gilbert, that like you can definitely be not too freaky as a guy, and that'll lose you brownie points. We all know what that looks like, right? So Gilbert, we're just gonna assume that you did what you had to do, and that she enjoyed everything about you, but you knew that she was deaf or freak, right? But I want to know if the litmus test for being a freak for a guy is merely satisfying a girl in whatever that encompasses, And so, in many cases and scenarios, when I hear women talk, I do hear women that say, I like to please the guy, right? So I'm not saying that women aren't reciprocal in any way. I know women are. I know women like to please, right? But that in many cases is like in a generic, straightforward kind of way. Now, I will say this: because a lot of men aren't public with what they're into, and even if, and I know some men that are into some wild things that aren't typically advertised. You know what I'm saying? So I get that we will never know. But in another case and scenario, women also talk, when I hear them talk about men that are very freaky just about what they're into, some of them, depending on how far out it gets, they can get pretty judgmental. right? And then so I thought I was having a conversation with a young lady the other day, and the conversation was about good pussy, and it was just he hadn't had sex in a while, and you know he was coming quick, and you know he was giving her kudos, like what you said the shit was fire, and it was actually fire, or whatever the case may be. And she was pretty upset, like, she wasn't getting pleased, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I got that. Right. Bad thing, right? Cool. He's condemned. We get it. I was watching this show called First Wives Clubs, and he was like, "Ooh, shorty, I'm going to give it to you." And the nature of what he did, I thought was very freaky. How he delivered it was bad. And for anybody that's ever watched First Wives Club, it's the opening scene. So, or like the second scene in the opening act, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's on BET. They're like 25-minute episodes, and so he was in the bed, he's watching porn, and he's masturbating. Right, his back is turned. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear the girls moaning and whatever, and so he's going, and then the girl comes in, hops in the bed, you know what I'm saying, and she kisses him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Ooh, not yet, baby, not yet." I'm like, okay, all right, not yet. Let me see where this is going. So, but then she gets mad, like obviously, she turns over, like, oh, okay, what the fuck? And then while he's masturbating, he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna give it to you good, baby. I'm gonna give it to you good." And then right before he's about to come, he turns over, rolls over, sticks it in, and then he pretty much pounds away until he comes, and it's like I don't know, 10-second thing, if that. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously she wasn't satisfied, and but she rolls over, or whatever. He rolls over like, "Ooh, I gave it to you good." Now, I'm not saying she was pleased in that sense, but it was a very freaky situation. But I know if the roles were reversed in that case and scenario, it's much respected and not tripped on, because, I feel like we're living in a woman's world when it comes to having sex. I talked about the guy just a second ago about him coming quick. I know plenty of women that come quick, 20, 30 seconds in, as soon as they sit on the dick. You know what I'm saying? We know most women can't ride, for that long. Not because, don't mean stamina is one thing. But stamina aside, they come quick. Once a woman's in control and she's on top, she gets to do what feels good to her. And after she's done doing what feels good to her, most of the time, she's ready to either be done or, roll over. You finish, you take control. Again, living in a woman's world. If that was said God, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he came. You know what I'm saying? In the dynamics are a little different, because some women can still, they can still go. You know what I'm saying? After they come. But I've also dealt with women that can't. Like, once they come, they're done. You know what I'm saying? And I just looked at it, Ursula. You know what I'm saying? And she talked. Ursula said, women can come multiple times, which is true. You know what I'm saying? So I get that aspect of it. Like, okay, don't blow your load. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're done, you're done. But there usually is a dynamic shift in when women come for some people. Some girls are freaky up until they come. Some girls are freaky after they come. But a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, are freaky up until that point, and then once they come, it's like, all right, hurry up and get yours. That's nowhere near the same, Ursula. And not saying that this is you, but just talking to everybody outside. I want the ladies to know, if you're different after you come, and it's not, it's one of those later, you know what I'm saying, it's the lazy vagina that you get after that, like, you just sitting there playing dead until he comes. That's nowhere near the same. But my point is, the same way women say they're living in a man's world, I feel like sexually, you know what I'm saying, we're living in a woman's world, and it doesn't nearly equate. But the initial premise of this conversation is, and Ursula Kelly, I would like for y'all to chime in and let me know, is, what does a freaky man for you look like? I'm saying? What is too freaky for a girl? You know what I'm saying? What can a guy come to you and say he's into that you just can't be down for? Because when it comes to sex, I haven't really heard one guy say, she was too freaky for me. You know what I'm saying? Now, as deep as that'll get is like, maybe she was like too out there, or to her, like she might be weird in how she presents herself, or, just her normal day shit. But when it comes to sex, like most niggas is like, nah, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you with, I'm with, and I'm not gonna judge you for. There are women out there that will partake because they want to please, but they're also very judgmental of whatever said guy's into. But when it comes to women, women are like water, right? There's no sharp edges, no turns. Like, there's nothing. Like, they're very fluid. You know what I'm saying? Women are very fluid, so they can go either way. They can conform to anything. Yeah, Hector, you can call in. Again, if you want to call in and leave your thoughts, it's 323-900-0478. 323-900, yeah, 0478 if you want to call in. Or you can chat in live at the Good News radio station, listen live. You guys also can't, if you're listening streaming to me on Facebook, you also can't hear the music and things or the special effects that are in the background. So I do say it's better to download the app and listen. Other than that, you don't get the ambiance that everybody else gets. But to the ladies, again, what does that look like without the judgment? I know a lot of freaky men that are afraid to be freaky with their girls because they are so busy pleasing their woman that they feel like they don't want to lose her. And if they really opened up to whatever it is that they were into, then that will be judged for. They'd be looked at differently. Now, my auntie, I qualify as a man eater, by the way. And again, shout out to the 49ers. I just throw that in there. We 6-0. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. I should make that a drop, right? Just every now, just like Teresh. 49ers, right? Can't get it on. My auntie, who's a bona fide man eater, and I know men that run from my auntie, like when they see her, like that woman just did strange things to me. Like, I would qualify my auntie as like a person who loved freaky men, and even to this day, she's in her 50s, 60s, like she's still about that life, and she likes that shit. You know what I'm saying? She likes freaky men. She told me when I was young, she was like, anything you do with a woman is hetero. Anything you do with a woman is hetero. Anything you do with a woman is hetero. If you're a guy, by the way. And I know a lot of women that don't believe that. I know a lot of men that don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say, again, there are a lot of men and women that are into different things. And if we want to be strict about that, because we're trying to eliminate the judgment so that you can get the freak out of your man, because you want this to be a two-way street, you know what I'm saying? And much like conversation and much like hard work or a household, there's a give and a take, or there's a balance that you want and you need. You don't want to be the only one talking. You don't want to be the only one listening. You don't want to be the only one working. You don't want to be the only one cooking. You know what I'm saying? When y'all go out, you want him to dance with you back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want this to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Apologies, God. You want there to be a balance. So in sex, there's a lot of things that go into that. And the reason why a lot of men stray, is because they can't be open about what they're into with their girl. Because usually the girl that they're with is usually a good girl, but she's not freaky enough for them. And I can say the same thing, and women can say the same thing too. Like the sex in nature may not be the best that they've ever had, but they're with the guy because he's better. But I'm talking about merely just opening up. Even the girl that's with the guy that maybe she's had better sex than him, but he's a good guy, she could be as freaky as she wanted to with him, with no judgment at all. Not an issue. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different case and scenario for most men. That's a far cry from I'm with you and I love you, you know what I'm saying, for you, but I gotta go be here and be over here because, you know what I'm saying, she's freakier. Now, trip this. As a DJ, and a party and a party personality, whatever the case may be, what do you call it? But just throwing parties, DJing, doing radio. I'm out there in the streets a lot. A lot of people know me, right? My girl is a homebody. You know what I'm saying? She'll send me like, hey, go. You know what I'm saying? Do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, so I'm in there, I'm chilling. She don't go out. Like, if it's not like tea and crumpets or some brunch or traveling the world, like, she's not going to go out and do what I do. And that's fair, right? But in many respects, that's how men are in their relationship, right? That's why most men don't really. That's why they hate the way we cheat as men and women. That's why it hurts us a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, most women cheat out of spite. Like, oh shit, I was down for you. You did this to me, and then, they're gonna hit you over the head worse than you could ever do them. As to where he was going about it because it was something that he just wasn't getting. You know what I'm saying? It was something that he felt you weren't capable of, wasn't getting, or wouldn't open up to. I know a lot of niggas that like to eat ass. I know a lot of girls that like to get their ass ate, right? And, ever since Omarion, I mean, not to say that it wasn't in before that, but it's been publicized now where, like, it's cool to say, you know what I'm saying, publicly, you know what I'm saying, like, you eat ass, you know what I'm saying, which is cool, you know what I'm saying? No judgment. Do what's necessary. Do what you have to do. Do what you like to do. Do you. I would ask you a question is how many men like to get their ass ate? Because I know plenty that probably do. That in confidence that, hey, you know what? She went there. Or I wanted her to go there. Or she would do it. She wouldn't. You get what I'm saying? And there are some women that are looked at a lot differently because they are willing to do said things that others aren't. And they're labeled ratchet or, hoes or whatever the case you want to, whatever you want to call them. But I'm really just bringing it up because a lot of women don't allow the men that they love, the men in their life, to be that freaky. And if it's true that, we're defined by our sexual prowess, which in nature, even for most men, to up until a certain age, we have a huge appetite. Wouldn't you think that comes with a little bit more than just having a different girl on a daily basis? Granted, they say there's no pussy better. There's nothing better than pussy except for new pussy. And that's true. But the other thing that's really good about women is being kinky with them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be with a girl that gets to do everything and I'm doing everything to her and I get nothing in return if, in fact, I want to go there. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go somewhere, if I want to be sexual, I want to just be able to say, look, babe, we're going to do it like this, or take her there and we do whatever it is we do, and fair game, no judgment, whatever it is you went to. Again, 333-900 0478 if you want to call in. Oh, you know what? Even if you did call in, my bad. I wouldn't have heard you because I didn't even have the phone on. But I'm putting it on just a second. So maybe in about 2-3 minutes, hit that line 333-900 0478. My bad, all the way. And we're talking about what it looks like. We're talking about what does a freaky man look like. What the question is prior to that is, do women like freaky men, or do they just like the freak being brought out of them? I know plenty of women that are looking for a man. I know plenty of women that are hearing stories about sex and they won't go initiate it, but the one that they like to have sex with is the guy that just provokes them in every way, and they get to do that shit and they love that shit. That's pretty much the nigga that's probably ain't good. That's good for nothing. You know what I'm saying? With this nigga, she gets to be as freaky as she wants to be. All right, phone lines are up now, so you can call in if you need to. But I think there's a big difference between me provoking your sexuality and the things that you want, because you may be into your girl. You know what I'm saying? That may be good there. You know it may not be mine. All right, y'all are coming in. Just a second. We have a clear. What's your name before you come from?
Oh, is this Dontrell?
It is.
And, yeah, I went to the recording booth. We kind kind of go way back. And the subject you're speaking of, I went through like 2 weeks ago. He's right on point. I just want to give my little.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm watching you guys right now. So.
Okay. They can't hear.
Oh, is that you, Dondra?
Yeah, that's
video.
Yeah, I do. As you mentioned, I was like, because the name looked familiar, but they can't hear you, but I can hear you. But I'll relay the message.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying, and it's funny because it is the truth that there are more. Because I've been single. I'm 40 now, and I've been
40, and you've been whole life.
Yeah, and so I've been around, say the least, and but I think it is the women make the move.
Correct.
As I said, you may want to go. Sometimes it comes to his community, but sometimes there's just one that's it. Not true. Rather ease than women.
Right.
If you treat us like that, then we'll.
Indeed.
But it's just in case and you've already said it because I'm a freak.
Rick super freak. Let that be known. Rick Gilbert Hernandez, very chat. He's a super freak.
Like those girls that I've been with know that I'm single. I'm not. We know to draw the line to every guy. Like even like the pedophiles and that. I mean, call me when you're 18.
Well, just you feel policing. You tell me. I'm just saying in general. When a girl talks, you being a super freak, do you feel okay? If you're into some kinky things, do you feel okay? Let it is off bat, or do you just go in there and you please them as a super freak?
I do go there. So nowadays, more they're at. Like you said, I go, but I'm into like you said. I'm a booty man. Just put it away.
Okay. Like theirs, or you like them to deal with?
Well, I actually don't, because I had someone back when I was living in LA. Oh, okay. I was a girl because I don't anyone other study. What I do. I'm not.
Now, again, so you saw me on Cant. I want to sure because after we get off this, I'm a related. I just want to. It's okay.
It's fine because anybody knows me who I really am.
Gotcha.
Because I'm an honest, open person, and you're always cool too. The times when all that. Going to met a lot of cool people.
All day. And make sure you.
We're like a fan of you, dog. Yeah, go ahead, this man. And for all y'all out there, because you guys already anyway. You really know me, And if you don't, then what's the point of even trying to know me then?
All day.
Don't really want to.
Well, thank you for calling in, G, and hit me in my inbox, and we still active with the music too.
Yeah. Actually, I've been catching up with a lot of people from recording school lately, so we'll talk about some music things too. So all right.
All day, B. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, do your thing. I'll let you go, and thank you for having.
Yeah, so thank you, Gilbert, for calling in. And that was Gilbert Hernandez, ladies. And Gilbert was telling me, for those that you can't, because again, you can't hear the music or the caller when you call in, unless you go to the Good News radioshow.com or download the app. That's the only way you'll be able to hear it. But Gilbert was letting me know. Obviously, he called himself Rick James, and he let me know that he was a super freak, and they just had a situation the other day. Cool beans. And in that, he said, a lot of times as a 40-year-old, he said he goes there with them and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He usually goes where the woman goes. And so he said he told me, he's like, because I'm into a lot of stuff, and he was like, and I'm a booty man. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? So does that mean you like big butts? You know what I'm saying? Does that mean you like them to play with your butt with it? And Gilbert openly said, yeah, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, a girl from LA put him on because he's not from out here. And he said he's comfortable. He's a man. He's comfortable in sexuality, but it's still a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because he said the people that know him truly know who he is. I'm assuming that he likes women. You know what I'm saying? And so, but Gilbert saying like either look both ways. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's eating yours or you eating his, it's all fair game to him. You know what I'm saying? But for him to even, and to my point, I asked him the question primarily so that we knew what he was talking about, just see how freaky he was, and I asked him, and he shout out to Gilbert, he said it's okay to relay this to y'all, and obviously, yeah, I hope so, because on the other end it is televised anyway, or not televised, but people hear it because it's live. But I asked it just to see if there was a qualifier, and to a certain extent, although he was very comfortable in who he is, no shame, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? He did let me know, because anybody that knows him knows who he is, knows that he only likes women, right? And he said he didn't judge. You know what I'm saying? He said, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? He said, do you, whatever you into. But he was just saying that for him. But that was my very point. Plenty girls nowadays say, I get to eat ass. You know what I'm saying? And that they like their ass ate, no judgment. Plenty women out here have kissed girls before, or probably still kissing girls, no judgment. Plenty guys want their girl to kiss a girl with no judgment. There's girls that have been with other girls all the way, the whole nine. Either they ate pussy, getting their pussy ate, curious about getting his pussy ate, don't mind dealing with a girl in some type of way. And there's no judgment, no qualifier. There's no with anything that a woman wants to do, there is no judgment, and she doesn't. And as a woman, they expect you not to. Everything that they want to be and do, they want you to respect them for, and none of it take away from their strength, and or their femininity as a person. And that's where I'm trying to get to with men, right? And I was talking to somebody the other day, and this is just some different, on some different stuff. But this is just about the nature of how fluid women are, and how specific and how rigid women have men. And this is also in the bedroom, because everything translates, ladies. There's no female clothing that a woman can wear in any way that will make you look at her like she was lesbian or gay, right? Like, there's no clothing that's made for women, that's women clothing, that they can wear in any kind of way that will let you know that will be an indication that they may or may not be lesbian or gay. However, men can wear men clothing in a bad way. They can wear it too tight, or in such a way that a woman will look back like, dang, is he, isn't he? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get a different vibe for him, right? Mind you, these are clothes for men, made by men, that they have to wear a certain way to avoid speculation, right? With that being said, so if the box is so small or so certain or particular when it comes to how we dress, imagine what it's like to be sexual. Most women go back to old guys because that's where their comfort is. You know what I'm saying? I believe most men go to women where they're most comfortable sexually, new or old. I think that's why ratchets win in this game. You know what I'm saying? Because a nigga can be who he wants all over. We know he can be a good guy, and they gonna love that shit. But who, you know what I'm saying? Like, in God damn, I can't think of the name. But they're on Instagram, and they're called the Ellises, right? The Ellises. And DeVale, he was just talking about this the other day. He's talking about why men are afraid to get married, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And I get to go be me and be open sexually with somebody as long as I'm not married. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a girl out there where I can just go, whether I like my ass ate, finger in it, you know what I'm saying? You know, face licked, toe sucked, you know, whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? It's whether, you know, you want to just, there's a myriad of things that men could like. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of men that I know that want to be on the opposite end of the BDSM. There are some men that work so hard all day, that are in control. They have to be a boss all day. They got to fight niggas or do whatever case is there. When they get with their girl, they want to let her have the control. Like, look, whatever you want to do to me, you can do. Whatever. But that's not okay in many perspectives of the situation. Again, if you type in BDSM right now, I'm almost certain there's going to be a woman that pops up being controlled, being dominated, being just, you know, bondage, sadism, or masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the wilting position of that situation. Although, I don't think people really understand the person that's being dominated is the person that's in control in actuality. But my point is, if a guy has to be that conscious about what he's wearing, then it's even worse with his sexuality. Most men don't want to get married because they don't want to have to suppress their sexuality, especially by dealing with one girl, right? And again, I've said it all along. When I get married, if I was swinging from trees before I got married, I want to be swinging from trees when I get married. So if we invited let's say we invited a third party in every now and then, or we went to like some sex club every now and then, or whatever, you know, if I liked watching my girl have sex with somebody else every now and then when I get married, I don't expect anything different. Now that's extreme shit. But my point is, whatever you were doing to get them, you have to do to keep them. And men are often sometimes afraid to get married because that shit changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're afraid of the fact of ownership. And sometimes men are afraid to get married because they also feel afraid to ask that of one woman. You know what I'm saying? Most men know, like, you know what? Like, she's such a good woman, I can't let her go. You know what I'm saying? She's not what I need sexually. And not because she doesn't have good vagina or good sex. He just can't be himself. Like, you know, if he like getting his ass ate, or let's just say he like getting his tongue sucked or some shit, or whatever the case may be, and you know, one day he's trying to bring it up, and she like, yeah, and he brings it up like in the distance, like, you know, my friend, you know what I'm saying, like getting his tongue sucked and shit. She's like, I wish a nigga would like getting his tongue sucked. That'd be the last time I ever talked to that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That, well, he can't bring that shit up no more. You get what I'm saying? Because there's an idea that comes along with it. You know what I'm saying? And again, shout out, what's up, Raymond? Shout out to the homie Raymond. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that men think about, that they are concerned with. You know what I'm saying? There are some women, just like, again, and again, I'm not saying that this isn't applicable to women. I know it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's in the grand scheme of things. As I've said before, like, a girl can go be a construction worker and nobody think nothing of it, and she expects nobody to think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if she cute, or until she tell us that she don't like niggas, you know, a nigga gonna shoot their shot. But if, you know, if a nigga's in there doing hair, it's just gonna be assumed that he's gay. Period. Point blank. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's hands down. And so, niggas don't want to be judged in either way, and they just want to be them. But I want to know from the ladies what it looks like to be freaky. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, from what I'm hearing from all the homies, shout out to D-Way and Jabari, what I'm hearing from all the homies is they are masters of becoming pleasers in the bedroom. And every time I hear a nigga talk about putting it down, you know what I'm saying, or a girl being freaky, or just their sexual experience, depending on how close they are to me, it never comes up about what they like. Now, when I hear from a woman's perspective, right, about some of this shit, you know, because I have a lot of female best friends, when I hear from a woman's perspective about freaky sex, it's always about what he did to me. Like, oh, this nigga, girl, he slammed me up against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Girl, he had me spread wide. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Girl, he took his time. You know what I'm saying? Girl, he tied me up. You know what I'm saying? Girl, he was strong. He choked the fuck out of me. He's, you know, he had me bent over, hanging off the three leg. You know, just the. I want to know, is that the extent of it, of what you consider a freak, ladies? What he does to you? Because I never really hear about what's really done to them. Like, unless it's a best friend, I'm really close. And most of my best friends that I'm close with, I haven't really heard from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may confirm. Like, if I heard it through the grapevine, like, they'll confirm. You know what I'm saying? Because the homies don't lie to each other. They'll confirm. But as far as just outwardly saying, like, oh, you know what I'm saying, I'm into X, Y, and Z, it don't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's primarily coming from the rigidity, the box that men live in. And I'm just really starting to think that this is just a woman's world. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, the funny thing was, I read a quote the other day, and it was, not a quote, but it was a post on Instagram. And it was like, you know, why do so many, you know, niggas want to do shit that, you know, women do, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, just like this sex situation or anything else, we don't glorify anything else. You know what I'm saying? We always say men do what women allow. But the other part of that, like, everything that's being glorified is that of a woman. You know what I'm saying? A nigga gets acclaim a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, damn, you know, like, you know, she'll be like, oh, he handsome, whatever case it is, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of glory in there, but 9 times out of 10, she's talking about her fly celebrity crush, or her fly looking homegirl, or herself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, the billboards or women. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of things that provoke men to be men. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when they talk about, like, you know, niggas aren't made how they used to. Well, shit, y'all castrated them. Y'all ostracized them all. You know what I'm saying? It used to be okay for a nigga to be real hairy and sweaty and big and burly, and, you know, women would like that coming back. But then introduced, like, I want the clean cut metrosexual type of dude, and that's what y'all wanted. But then, you know, when niggas really wanted it or took it too far, now it is what it is. But even I grew up around all women, right? There's nothing like even just dealing with them and how they, as the sole, one of the sole men in the family, you would think that the glory, and my aunties did a good job. I'm not gonna say that, you know what I'm saying? My aunties and my brother, they in itself did a good job. But just around other families and other people, like the glory goes to the women. Even marriage. Think about marriage, right? And this is how sex is, you know what I'm saying? But think about marriage. It's her day. It's her day. It seems like it never dawns across people that niggas want to get married to. It's her day. You're literally supposed to let her pick out whatever, plan the whole day. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much signing off on shit, just paying for shit. But it's her day. And they wonder why niggas don't want to get married. Well, it's not our day. It ain't got nothing to do with us. And if we didn't get a nut, outside of the last 10 seconds that are for us, right? The remainder of that is for a woman. And so I was just really curious about whether women really like freaky men, or do they just really like men that bring the freak out of them. And we got about 10 minutes left or so in the show. Again, 323-900-0478 if you want to call in, or thegoodnewsradiostation.com. If you have any answers, please let me know. And I know women know more than what I do because they're dealing with them on a everyday basis. And I know there are plenty of men out there into a lot of different shit, and they just not saying it. And the women aren't saying it, and nobody's saying it. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is we should be able to say it. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to a friend the other day just about, he was like, damn, I feel like I want to cry. You know what I'm saying? But it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Women just cry. And so there's a lot of things going on in this world, but just I know how deep it is to be sexual in this world. I know how important it is to be sexual in this world. And everybody is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always openly talked about it and been about that life because I figured out young that everybody's about that life. You know what I'm saying? Cheating is an epidemic. It seems like people have been cheating. Or back in the day, it was two-timing. You know what I'm saying? Then it was girls being fast. You know what I'm saying? Or, in that, universally niggas are dogs. That's what they talking about when they say this shit. But cheating is an epidemic. And if that's the case, that means everybody's sexual and into some type of shit that they need to go and get so bad that they're willing to cheat. Which also makes me believe that you might not necessarily need to be with one person. The point is, we all like what we like. And we all like what we into. So, you know what I'm saying? Do you like freaky men, and what does that look like? Please let me know. You know what I'm saying? And, feel free when it comes to this radio show to DM me. Hit me in my inboxes or text me if you got the number. And anything you want to talk about, especially anything you want to talk about that you think is taboo in this relationship game, I'm always down for the cause. Again, shout out to the 49ers, 6-0. They don't get no better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like this, everything. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know how good our quarterback is because our defense is so awesome, right? And some ladies don't even know how freaky their man is because maybe their sex is so awesome, as in the girl, or the dick is so good, or she's so freaky. You know what I'm saying? The world has us believing everything is taboo. Is it? Is it really? How is sex for us, but it's taboo? That's what kills me all the time. Everything that we like somehow, everything that we find joy and pleasure in, especially that of something that's supposed to be natural and for us and for everybody, somehow things end up taboo. Somehow there's something that I could do with a girl that makes me gay. Blows my mind. And if that's the case, the very next, because I know the majority of girls, like 90% of women, like getting their vagina ate. That's crazy, right? But lesbians, that's their primary way of having sex. Niggas like getting their dick sucked. That's one of the things gay men do. So how does anything that we like blur lines when everybody's doing everything? I'm not going to say the same way, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Hell. Lesbians are using dildos and dicks to fuck women. So does that make them straight? You get what I'm saying? Like, no. It's asinine. You are what you say you are. No matter how you present, no matter what you look like, you know what I'm saying? You are who you say you are. You are what you feel like. If you feel like you're a freak, you're a freak. If you tell me you're a freak, then you're a freak. Now, what's freaky to you may not be freaky to me, or what's freaky to you may be minuscule or, very amateurish to me. But our barometer is different. But I'm not going to take away that you a freak. Or I'm not going to say that you're not a freak, because that could be brand new for you. What if you just lost your virginity? And I'm just now getting a hold to you. Then everything's freaky to you, right? My point is, if you want a better living and a more openness with us, let us be us in every way. But this just happened to be focused in sexual content, which I just happen to think was very important, because we don't often get to go there. We don't often get to speak our minds. We don't often get to have a public forum of things that we can do. Men are just different, and they say it's a men's world, but I really think in every way we really just here to please women. I believe that we're here, well, that and to kill spiders and and the roaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, women don't like doing that shit. So hey, you know what I'm saying? I had a girl tell me like she would date women, but she's not gonna be the one to kill a spider, so that's out. And I firmly believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, women walk around saying that they don't need men. You know what I'm saying? Vibrators and dildos are so powerful, they say that they don't need men. And that's crazy, because in my opinion, that just reduces us to just sex. Because one of the first things I heard as a man is you can't live with them, but you can't live without them. And you'll never really hear, especially a straight man. But here's my thing. You'll never hear a straight man say, I don't need no girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, now he may say it in a survival sense, like, I don't need no bitch, you know what I'm saying, to make me happy. But he, like, that's, I guarantee you that's coming off of him being pissed off she's done something to him, or a girl is insinuating that she needs him. But just in GP, just on GP, you know what I'm saying, he's not walking around saying, I don't need girls, because we know he wants a girl. Now, whether the girl that he's choosing or acting right is different. That's way different. I've never heard a gay man say he don't need, you know what I'm saying, he don't want a man. Now, if the niggas that he got ain't acting right, that's different. Oh, fuck these niggas. Cool. Fuck these niggas and fuck these bitches are different than you making a movement, which sometimes it sounds like feminists. This is what feminists sound like to most men. You know what I'm saying? Fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? We don't need y'all. You know what I'm saying? We want to be independent women. Like, women wonder why niggas take the independent movement, them being independent, as a slight and a negative, is because that's how it presents. Because to us, we've been independent since the dawn of time. We turned 18, you had to get a job, you had to learn how to fish so that you can go and eat. You turn 18 so you can invest in yourself so that you can look like something. You turn 18, you go to school so that you can have a good job and pay for a house. You turn 18, you get a girl, you get a job, you become independent so that you can work and take care of your girl. For us, independence sounds so good and beneficial, especially to the girl. But when women become independent, somehow it has nothing to do with us. Somehow, now all we really good for is dick. And God forbid we ever openly just reduce women to just vagina. Even though the nature of a woman is to just want to have fun and be loosey-goosey and insinuate that that's just what they want to do and have a lot of sex, which is fine because niggas do too. But that whole independence thing, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm getting off a little topic and I'll tie it up in a second. But the whole independence thing was just a trip to me. Because now, you know, I see the memes when, you know, she said, look, if a nigga, don't block a nigga, just send him a picture of your bills. He'll block himself. That's crazy to me. Because in most cases, if you tell a girl you're not paying for, if you're not gonna pay for her dinner, she don't wanna talk. Caller, give me your name and tell me where you're calling from.
Yo. Detroit, what's happening, man?
We missed you, man. I didn't think you was ever gonna call in. I knew you were supposed to get in here at some point, somehow, some way. I was trying to hold it down until you got it, till you said something, man. It don't even feel right with you here not talking about me.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard you getting it in, man. I heard, what is it, independent women being independent?
Well, that's what
about.
Well, actually, I'm not. I went on a tangent. But that's
really?
Yeah, that's what I just said. We're actually talking about do women like? No, it's just me. I ain't gonna say no names.
I say we. You say we. I'm like.
Well, because people have been calling in. You know what I'm saying? And
that's dope.
And whatnot. So, but I'm just saying we were talking about do women really like freaky men, or do they just like men that bring?
Wow.
Or do they just like men that bring the freak out of them? And if they do like freaky men, what does that really entail? You know what I'm saying? Because you can be too freaky as a guy, and that'll turn most girls off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, is it really just about us pleasing y'all? Because I believe like this is a woman's world. But as it pertains to the independent part, I was just saying, you know, men have been independent from the dawn of time, and the girl was saying like, oh, you know, don't block a guy, show him the bills. And I'm like, well, that's crazy because if a guy takes a girl out and he don't pay, she don't even want to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? We've been independent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've been independent. You know what I'm saying? And now the girls is like, oh, I ain't got time to Netflix and chill when I got bills. Well, guess what? The nigga have always had bills. Especially if you going to his house, if he's picking you up in his car.
You always you be on that hard, like the bill thing. And everybody got bills.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
What I'm saying?
So now that they're independent, they feel like we feel, and now it's such a bad thing, and now they like, you know, fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I was telling them that's what feminists sound like to us sometimes. It sounds negative, and that's why sometimes men don't like it. But it's not. But we've always been independent. For us, it's been good. You know what I'm saying? So when you was able to take care of your girl and, you know, get your own haircut, make your own money, you know what I'm saying? Like, the women benefited from that. Like, like you wasn't thinking like, I don't want to mess with none of these bitches. Yeah, I want to mess with all these bitches.
Well, how, you know, I got a couple things I want to respond to. I want to say, how was your weekend? You know, how was the sports weekend for you?
Man,
I know you had the football game.
My fantasy team lost, so you know I'm taking that hard. But I was balanced out because we 6-0. Go Niners. I got my jersey on right now, in case you can't see.
You join the wave, man.
Oh, you know, I've been a Niner fan. This past weekend was particularly tough because my son, you know, I put my son in football, and, you know, he didn't want to play at first. Yesterday, when they lost, he cried so hard. He cried. I mean, he cried so hard. I'm like, why you crying? He's like, because I don't think we made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And my son's a big. He's big in the numbers, so he's doing a record like that. We don't make the playoffs. We under 50%, and I'm like, well, son, the team that had to win the clinch, they didn't clinch, so we got another shot next week, and then it brightened up his day. But I was ill prepared for those tears, so. But it was cool. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain. 6-0, man. 6-0. How can you complain about anything sports wise? Clippers about to start whooping that ass, and so
that's crazy that I definitely remember youth sports and how you cry when you don't win. That'd be crazy. What is he like? Is he actually,
good?
What position he play? Like, is he good? Like,
no. That's the truth. No. I'm a coach. So I got to be objective. No, my son's not good at all. My son's a goddamn rocket scientist. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Keith has met him. He was tripping. He was watching him on a computer. Like he's into, he's into computers. He's going to be editing and DJing and doing all that stuff. He likes that shit. He's a whiz kid. I put him in sports. Just so that, he had something to do, and we know that that's the nature of our network. A lot of people you mess with in this day and age start from your younger days, and he was sitting at home doing nothing. But now...
team sports and stuff. And the other part is, because sometimes you be out there giving it out to all, you be so mad, because you be like, dang, man, I just wish that we had some players on the team. You know
Bro, that's my son all the way. He walk up the field like, dang, man, we suck. And I'll be like, bro, you can't do that. Like, you must play. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my son is actually very talented, but he's scared of contact. He can catch, he can run, he can do all of that, but he's scared of contact.
He probably needs to play basketball or something.
Nah, he ain't that coordinated. It's gonna be soccer, golf. It's gonna be soccer, golf, or baseball. He's not coordinated enough for football, but for basketball. But he has aggression. He does have natural aggression, but when it comes, you ever see Freeway driving the car and that shit going real fast? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then when you inside driving the car, it's not going that fast at all. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel like that. Well, that part of the game scares him. When he watches it, he hears the contact, pow, like, oh, and it scares him. So he feels like when he's in the helmet and he's going to hit, he doesn't want to get hit as hard as he saw. But I'm like, so I had to record him one day, like, look, bro, you hit soft as shit. You soft as wet bread, but it's still a loud hit. Look, see, that's just the nature of audio. You know what I'm saying? So he's gotten markedly better. But in case you didn't know, you know who Marcus Thomas is, right, for the Saints?
Yeah, Marcus? Michael Thomas?
Yeah, Michael Thomas. Yeah, I'm sorry, Michael Thomas. They asked him why he was so good. He said because he was a must play when he was younger. He never wanted to feel that way again. And that's how I felt with my son yesterday. You know what I'm saying? When I saw him cry and he was angry, I said, well, you willing to do what you got to do to get better? He said, yeah, Dad, I want to train. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's the motivation, definitely. I know. Yeah, I mean, look, youth sports is definitely one of those things that is an introduction to that thing, and then some kids take it to another level. Some kids take it to the greatest level. Some kids just kind of have it as like learning a way to interact with other people in other team situations or scenarios. Just knowing to be a part of a team and being a team player, you know what I'm saying? Just those fundamentals is important to have, you know what I'm saying? Camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My weekend was dope. Thanks for asking. No.
I couldn't get it in, bro. I was about to ask you what your sports. I've been trying to figure out what your sports weekend was like.
So my weekend.
Did you win in fantasy?
I won in like 2 leagues.
I'm talking about the league that matters to you the most.
So I always focus. One big focus is my big money league. That's the one I'm really trying to win the most out of everything. And then I got my family, friends, and family league that I'm.
Are you still alive?
I'm kind of done, and that's because I got injuries and bye weeks or whatever. But that's like my other league where I want to talk the most shit in because I'm the commissioner and everybody against me basically. You know? So,
I believe it.
So then I'd be like trying to really win that league, and you know what I mean. But whatever. Shout out to my leagues, Go Hard, Wild Wild West, the Kings of the West, whatever. I'm on all these different leagues, but 2 leagues I really care the most about. 2 other leagues I'm like whatever. It's just fun and just the homies or whatever. But yeah, I was on the Bay this weekend. Shout out to the Bay. Yeah. So I was in Oakland and my uncle has this thing called Afro Comic Con. It's actually super dope. at some point I want to bring him in and just chop it up with him, but it's like all dope, like like everybody comes out. It's all like it's just like any other cons that you ever see, but this is supposed to specifically focus towards like Afrofuturism, Afro comics, comic book, sci-fi,
Oh, that's dope.
whatever. So you got like all black people, people Pan African, whatever. And they just celebrating like any black, and it's been crazy. But like I saw this movie Ken. So Michael B. Jordan is like becoming like a huge person figure in the Afrofuturism. And Afrofuturism, I really want to get a whole specialist about that particular topic. Like my great uncle was there, and he's 75 years old. My grandma was there, my kid's great grandma, but my grandma was there, and they were just hyped and just like because Afrofuturism is like one of the most important things to the next generation. It's like your kids or my kids because it's about seeing ourselves in the future and seeing our place. It's important to see. You see when you see the young black lady, I forget her name. That's in Star Trek, the classic Star Trek, and you see her at the computer, and she's over here like talking to Captain Kirk, and what I'm saying, and working with him. Now she sees herself. A black woman would see herself in the future, like, okay,
Right.
wow, I have a place in this world that is, what do you call it, light years away.
Yeah. It's like seeing yourself as
Somewhere
president.
in this thing, you know what I'm saying? Or you got Ken, who's you see these. We just was watching Raising Dion. It's these series that Michael B. Jordan are doing, and they're like these little black boys are discovering superpowers and alternate dimensions, and they're discovering different things that are allowing them to expand their imagination, so they're not just watching like Superman, Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Even Miles Morales, Disney, they're expanding that. Just continuing to expand, not just have the cookie cut like, oh, faster than a speeding bullet, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like, okay, this is white people, this is not something that I see myself in. I want to see a dude with afro or cornrows or listens to hip-hop or comes where I come from or, you know what I'm saying? And now this kid figured out a way to make a time machine, but he's like from where I'm from or something, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know I'm in the Afrofuturism tangent right now, but I just wanted to say that was something that you would just be surprised how many like you said, your son is like kind of into like computers and stuff. Like so many kids, so many young black kids was out there. Some of them was making their own games, making their own characters, making their own comics. It was just like you just don't even realize that it's a whole world out there. Just kids that want to see themselves. You get what I'm saying? In the stuff that they're trying to do. You know what I mean? So it was dope. It was real dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hello?
That's dope.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm listening. I know you hear the music.
Yeah. So it was dope. It was a good time. Just made it back. You know what I'm saying? Me and the kids and my wife took so it was daddy daycare. Me and my brother took a trip out to the bay and we was with the kids. And my wife was on her getaway weekend with the ladies. So it's been an adventure, man. But you know what I'm saying? It was definitely cool to see the bay, see how the bay represents. And the Oakland A's came out, and it was the dope thing about the Oakland A's is I learned that they had one of the first teams in the Negro Leagues. So the Oakland A's is out there representing. I gotta show you this hat. It's actually pretty dope. And it's but it's for the the Larks. So the Oakland A's came out, and because it was like a black event and about Afrofuturism and Afro Comic Con, so they was over here passing out like you could win prizes. So I won a dope hat, and it was the Oakland Larks, and they were like, yeah, that's Oakland's first professional team. or whatever, and it was a baseball team from the Negro League. I'm like, oh man, y'all, y'all had me at Negro League. Now you got an Oakland thing. Oh man, you know what time it is. So it's just kind of it's just kind of dope. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's what's up. I'll be out in the Bay.
But, yeah, you got to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be out there in December.
Oh, you say you're going out in December?
Yeah.
What you doing out there?
Anniversary, but I'll be out there for 4 days or so.
Yeah, you know, we gotta coordinate so we can get out there and see Akila and the baby and
yeah.
You know, give you some of that Oakland culture, so that way you stop hating. So you start hating. So now
I've been there before. I've been there before.
I mean, being there as a tourist is different than being there with the people that's like doing something.
Well, I was with our boy, man. I'm sorry, I'm going blank right now. He just had a baby. Good, Brian.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Not Brian. I'm sure he gonna kick my butt. Good day. Good day.
Who?
Not good day. What? He rap, man. God dang it.
White Dave?
No.
Dave?
No, he raps. He was in L.A. They moved back to have a baby. Not White Dave.
Bro, I have no idea.
Oh my God! If he listens to this, he gonna kick my. If he listens to this, he gonna kick my butt. No, it's in my phone. Let me go to the phone number. I know.
Hey, while you look for that, back to the topic at hand about the freaky dude. I mean, technically, I would say there's a possibility of a too freaky thing, but I don't know if you can hear. I had a little cold, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I'm getting over, but you know, saying God bless. You know, I got through it, but. Man, you know, when it rains, it pours, whatever. But yeah, I guess there is technically a too freaky kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would say it probably leans towards like too freaky, too fast, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, I would say that sex, like starting off with not when you don't know the other person. It's probably one of those.
BJ, Mr. Clean.
It could be. Who?
BJ, Mr.
I'm talking about freaky, and then you talking about BJ.
No. That's right. No. My bad. No. But BJ, you know what I'm saying? Clean Green, the rapper. Thank you. Go ahead.
That don't ring a bell. But hey, shout out to homie. You know what I'm saying? Town Biz. Yeah, we'll see y'all. We'll see them when we go out there in December. But all that to say is, like, sex, when you starting off with another person, y'all don't know each other. Y'all just meet. And then y'all decide to take it to that next level. Now, you still don't necessarily know each other in that way. So it could be a situation where you both still figuring each other out. You're figuring each other's bodies out. And you're figuring out where each other's, like, comfortabilities and all that stuff is. So is there a too freaky? I mean, there's a too freaky for a guy, too freaky for a girl, whatever. There's also, like, comfortability levels. So you can mess around and be like, oh, yeah, I'll be cool with that if we was actually, like, in a deeper situation or had a deeper level of commitment.
Mm-hmm. That makes
so
sense.
there's just different levels. And I would say that if somebody is, like, has an issue early on and, like, oh, this person's too freaky, I'm like, that would just be, to me, like, that's probably not necessarily that particular issue. Like, they're like, the too freakiness alone, you know what I'm saying, isn't the main thing.
Right.
There's other underlying issues, like, all right, I don't even know this woman, or I don't even know this man, and he's sucking my toes. You know what I'm saying? He probably is the toe sucker. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. You feel me? But you could be like, damn, you know, this girl, this woman, this man just brought this out of me, and I chose to, you feel me, take it there. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
when you don't know somebody, you just think that's what they do. You feel me? And so that's
Good point.
also
Fair
plays
point.
a part into it. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Well,
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a communication thing, basically. You feel me?
Yeah, well, it's 9:19. So you got any words? You want to wrap this show up for us?
Oh man, I thought I was just right on time. You know what I'm saying? Nah, yeah. My final words. My final words is I'm glad I was able to join in the conversation at the tail end. But you know, yeah, man. Thanks for holding it down as per usual. And you know what I'm saying? I would say that I had a great weekend. I hope everybody has a blessed week. Shout out to Hassan. Thank God, Hassan the God. He just had his event last night. It was an album release event, and he released a bunch of beats. So shout out to him. He pulled up to the good news in the relationship game and gave us a dope interview. And I posted it on my Instagram. Just check me out at Dance Hustle. And
You
the
posted the
interview
links.
from
You posted the link to listen to the beats on your joint.
I posted the link to our interview we had together
Oh, okay.
from the relationship game. So if you check out my Instagram, on my Instagram TV, my last post, you'll see a clip from like a 5 minute clip from maybe like 5 6 minutes. It's just a clip from our interview talking about his event that he had last night. Um, so I posted it last night. But yeah, other than that, man, take it away, man. Everybody have a blessed week, and we'll see y'all on the next week with another dope episode of the relationship game.
All day. Yeah.
Sweet, but the hotel